it was just one of those things. I mean, it seems like you go 2 steps forward, 2 steps back.
Well, yeah.
And that's because opposites attract.
I say you would come together at least in that situation, wouldn't you?
I mean, I don't want like a broken record or anything, but this sound quality issue, let alone getting lapels and studio mics to work together and cohesive harmony, is just becoming a bit of an issue.
Perhaps you'd make a video about that process.
I would just. It would just be nice if you're going to drop like $1,000 in equipment, that everything would just be plug and play and it would just work. What's up, Saul?
You go for the expensive stuff assuming it's going to be easier, it's going to work better, and then suddenly it doesn't, and then you just lose all faith in, well, not so much humanity, but like, big corporations.
I get that some of the more expensive stuff is all professional grade, so they're assuming you have like switchboards and
you have the knowledge
all of the like it's like real it's like professional grade for like they expect you to have all the soundboard stuff, but like I was expecting that if you're spending like $1,000 on this stuff, that there was going to be some plug and play aspect of this, USB 3.0, things like that, to be able to plug into PCs. And what's up, Revenator? What's up, Apropos?
Yo.
Yeah, we're super late today, so I apologize for that.
Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Let us know.
Yeah, so I got about $1,000 of equipment. We've got multiple really awesome lapel mics. We've got a 4-channel 1,000-watt system, really nice actually. And
looks good.
Yeah, looks nice. Looks really nice, and my computer won't recognize it. We tried multiple different outputs, and I have a really nice laptop actually. It was rated the 3rd best laptop in the world just 2 years ago, so it can't be that out of whack.
That should count for something.
Should count for something. Even 2 years later, it's still rated a top 10 laptop even today.
Well,
still a top 10 laptop out there, so still should be worthy, but I'm just not that guy. I'm not that guy who knows how to do this stuff.
Well, and I got a good amount of knowledge, and I'm good at fiddling around till it works, but man, there was a lot of fiddling today that just didn't seem to make anything work.
Yeah,
at least we got it to this point.
Sup, my man Warrior? Greetings from New Zealand. What is up, New Zealand? What's going on? Tommy says
that other countries want to hear what we had to say. That's pretty
Mick
awesome.
Mole's coming back. You're next? No, I don't think so.
Mick Mole really came back?
We actually talked about you playing in the background Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and then us overlaying ourselves chatting and stuff. We were going to do that. We just ended up, we were like 3 hours late, so we were like, never mind, we'll just do this format. But we are planning on probably...
Once we get all the kinks ironed out, we'll be able to do that sometime.
Yeah, maybe next week that's what we'll do. We'll have you play your game, and we'll chat and do
Which is kind of unfortunate, because there's a Grand Arena Championship going on right now, and I know a lot of people are interested in that, but... We'll see what happens next week.
Yeah, so maybe we'll do that next week. We'll have you play your account, so that would be fun. What's up, Zavis and Skywalker? We'll do that. We'll have you probably in your account next week, so you guys can have a little bit of Star Wars Galaxy Heroes playing in the background. That will be fun. We'll be in SureShot's account, but I know, right?
Man, I tell you.
But ArtisianK, for anyone who doesn't know, ArtisianK and SureShot, and we're going to hang out here today. Of course, as always, we're going to have story time at the end. We'll always have our moralistic spin, as always, at the end. Kind of a fun story. I take on the mob. Well, sort of, but not really. I told them the story, and they were like, what? And I was like, yep. And they were like, no. And I was like, yes. I actually went online to look for the story, but they archive these stories after a period of time, and I don't want to dig too long. We'd already spent 3 hours trying to change audio.
Right.
So what I'm going to do is send this audio equipment back to Amazon, and we're going to start over from scratch. We're going to try and find more lapel mics. If anyone knows of any phenomenal lapel mics that are more plug and play friendly.
If you especially know that they work well in a YouTubing, live streaming, indoor, outdoor situation.
So I have a laptop, and I really want them to be USB 2.0, 3.0 compatible. I want them to be able to plug and play into a laptop. I don't have a huge I I don't have a huge like motherboard where we're plugging in like.
Yeah, we don't have like a big mixer.
Yeah, I don't have like a huge mixer or anything like that. We're not going all crazy. I want this to be kind of plug and play to a PC or laptop.
Yeah, for all you guys out there that know exactly what we need, go ahead and just drop a line real quick.
What does that say?
I was wondering if that back door was a gateway to another universe.
It is a gateway to another universe. Back here.
It's the other universe in which American Idol is
that's where
actually
they do American Idol. We've talked about this before. Big fan, and so we always camp outside of here. So one day when they let me, I'm going to go on and I'm going to sing my heart out.
Yeah.
They are going to deny
blow
me.
them all away.
Yeah, no, they're going to deny me. They're not going to let me onto the show.
Simon's going to come out of retirement to tell you how amazing you truly are, and you should come back more often. And why have you not been here before?
Yeah, but he's not even on the show, bro. So I can tell you don't
like
watch.
I said, he's going to come back to the show.
Who?
But no, I just like hanging out, by American Idol. I enjoy hanging out here.
You actually get to be a judge.
The bricks, they warm up in the sun.
Yeah.
So it kind of warms my back. So that's good.
Are you much of a singer? Well, I hang out in the American Idol studio all the time. So.
Yeah. Well,
So
my
it
father
says,
was a bricklayer.
is there a universe on the other side of this wall
Yeah.
where Warrior still plays Star Wars Galaxy of
Actually,
Heroes?
Bed Bath and Beyond. That's the Beyond.
Yeah.
You've always wondered where it was
There's
at.
a bed.
Now you know.
Oh, wait, there's no bath. What the heck?
Yeah. So yeah, we will. We're gonna keep doing the drawing board until we figure out the whole audio thing. Because I actually got some earpieces that are gonna come. I'm excited about those because
That'd be nice.
I think those, even with your lapels, are gonna work even better because it's gonna put the mics in our mouth.
Yeah, just gnawing on
It
mics.
seems like I've complained about these two enough that they've worked the last two live streams. So we'll hope for a good, smooth run today. But we'll see.
Yeah,
what
it's
happens.
just so echoey. I am like such a fanatic.
Well,
Once.
we're in a tin room. There is that.
No, this room's huge and has a lot to absorb the sound. Actually, this would be. I've done so many videos in here where the sound quality was phenomenal, but these the pass through we're using is not so much.
Just hang looking for a new mixer too. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't have a whole lot of control with the setup you're bringing over.
If somebody
which
wants
is
to
fine.
lend us their money tree real quick, we can do
Money
everything
tree.
that we'll need.
Yeah, I planted one. It died.
I know.
So
I've tried it so many
I'm gonna
times,
Plant
so that's
another
gonna
one. Plant another one.
Lendingtree.com.
So yeah, so we'll do that. We're gonna go back to the drawing board. I'm gonna return these. I'm gonna find one more plug and play friendly. I think I can find one that's more plug and play friendly. That's got a 4-to-1. That's kind of USB output. I think that would work really really well. Once I get something that's USB output that works well, I think we'll be in the green. I think we'll be good to go. But audio, I'm never going to stop until we find a good lapel setup for us because that's just kind of the best route. We could go microphones with those, but it's still
MC
we don't.
style.
Yeah, but I'm still
Sitting
not
here this
wanting.
the whole time.
You'll be like,
Yeah, I'm just not.
Bounce the microphone ends off each other. Hey, stop that.
Yeah, I'm just not. I'm not feeling that. So yeah, we're not going to do that. The three beards unite. Yes, that's true. We could unite our beards. It's like small, medium,
That's me.
medium,
Jeez.
and large. When I met you though,
Three sizes.
ArtisianK, yours was large.
Yeah, but it wasn't as large as that.
Mine is medium compared to what it was a few weeks ago.
That is true, and yours looks fake in the video.
Yeah, at least last week.
By the side, it almost looks like you're wearing it like a fake Santa
Fellowship.
Claus.
Yeah.
But
Next time
we'll sweep this
we'll
off
watch
here real
just the-
quick.
Yeah.
All the extended versions of Lord of the Rings together.
Yeah.
No.
By the time we get done with it, that's how you grow a good beard. Little do you know, you have to watch all three extended versions of Lord of the Rings, and then it just next thing you know,
background stuff, all those extra stuff.
Yeah.
You'll have a beard
Yeah.
down here.
true Gimli /
Yeah.
Gandalf right there.
You'll be
So-
the protector of the,
So a lot of stuff happened this last week, or the last couple of weeks, and I know that we got all like super political last videos. So I apologize to our viewers for that. That's not the intention of the live stream to go totally political. So
Granted, some of these cards did give us a few layups, but we didn't need to go there. So.
yeah. So anyway,
Exactly.
to all the viewers, that's not the direction of the channel. We're not going to be all super uber political. So I apologize for that. But
We're
we
going to
did
try and
have
touch
fun.
on all subjects, but
Yeah. But I mean, sometimes when things happen like that, that's like, it's like it is our world. So sometimes we're going to touch on topics. It's just
you are who you are.
Yeah.
You are who you are, who you are.
In this overly offended world that hopefully will calm down one day.
When you're talking about going back to the drawing board, I was thinking we could put like a dry erase board up here.
We do need to
And
do
when
that.
you actually do
We
want
could
to
just
go
let
to the
you
drawing board,
draw.
I'll just be like, a left-handed style.
Yeah.
What am I
Yeah.
doing it left-handed for?
Then we can have drawing contests. Oh, wait.
What is he trying to draw?
Yeah, we can do Pictionary. I definitely want to do that, and then
what's he coming up?
I will draw, and you can guess, and we will be here all day.
Pictionary doesn't have to be. I mean, you gotta learn how to kind of make it representable. You know, something that you can actually see and go, okay, but you have to do it quick. You know, you can't just be like, well, I'm going to take 4 hours to do an amazing drawing.
No. You only get like 30 seconds to draw. So it'll be stick figures for you.
And whatever. So I won't show how
that might level the playing field a bit.
It does. I can do things quick.
Actually, I'll probably beat him because he's going to try and be too overly detailed.
That's
and I'll be like stick figure, and you'll be like, stick figure.
And I'll be like,
it all starts with lines and stick figures, and then it works its way out. If I don't have the time, it's just going to be scribble, do.
It's true.
Done.
All right, well, why don't we get started? Let's start with, let's do paper, rock, scissors again.
Okay, so
right.
there's no shoot, it's just paper, rock.
It's got to be 1, 2, and then on.
Paper, rock,
boom.
Yeah.
So
usually
1, 2, and then 3.
Some people shoot. All right.
Okay,
all right.
Are you ready?
Paper, rock, boom.
Oh, 3 papers.
Paper, rock, boom.
Oh, man, I am dead, so I can go first. All right, cool. I'm the one off. All right, I'm going to pick...
a second, you lost, so you get to go first?
All right,
That's bad.
ArtisianK, this question goes to you first. This question goes to you, and this is polling the internet, so I'll give you what the internet thinks of this. You guys can tell me what you guys think.
Hunting stories.
Any hunting stories. There are some good hunting stories.
I've only been once, so...
I did a hunting story already, though. It was terrifying, where I totally blew out the rear end of an antelope. I felt horrible.
Yeah.
And then my hunting coach totally just took his casual time walking over there and to put him out of its misery. I was like, hurry up!
Come on!
Actually, my mom's got some great hunting stories, so I can regale us with those sometime.
Yeah. So these questions come out of polling the internet. So after we're done answering it, we'll actually tell you what the poll
entire
says.
internet.
Polling.
Yeah, the entire interwebs. Okay, so I'll tell you what the internet says, but the question is, can you, if you're going on a date, this is a first date.
Whoa, first date?
Yep, first date.
I don't have a whole lot of knowledge about this subject, so this is going to be interesting.
He's never been on a date in his life? No, I'm just kidding.
I've never been on a first date.
I've always been on a second
So
date.
he's been on a
Skip right
second
over
date.
the first date and go straight to the second date.
Yeah, that is awkward. Because she doesn't know she's on the first dates.
She thinks it's the first date. Oh, I've already planned this out.
She thinks it's a first date. It's his second date.
Yeah.
But
gosh,
that's
a whole nother story, isn't it? Just make that up.
Sounds pretty weird. As long as there's consent, we should be
so
alright.
this is a consensual first date, my crazy friend. Can you use a gift card to pay for dinner on your first date?
Like, should I or can I?
Can you? Is it appropriate to use gift cards for your first date?
It really depends on how observant this lady is. See, usually you're handing a card, putting it in the thing, and here you go. Just a card, here you go. She didn't have to see what the card is. She probably wouldn't, 'cause she's not paying for it.
Fair enough.
So I'm going to say yeah.
What happens if she sees it? What happens if she knows?
I mean, the biggest problem would be whether or not I actually talk about it and bring light to it, because I'm a talker, and sometimes when I'm nervous, I talk too much.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm like, oh, what is this? Oh, crap.
So how would that go? I want to see that. How's that go?
How embarrassing would that be?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just say this is my card, right?
Yeah.
Just pull this out of my pocket and be like,
I got this because I got this from a friend, so I mean that's why I'm using it right now, because I have to use it, because I'm not going to use it because I'm going to use it, so here we go.
It's okay because I'm paying for it, right?
So is that appropriate on a first date?
Well, if I did it like
to use that gift card?
No. It's not really appropriate, but I'm telling you, I'd probably find a way to do it. I'd plan it out in my head. Oh, let's see how much that is. No big deal. Just, we're talking. We're having a good conversation.
Well, then here you go. Good idea for all the players out there. If you're going to get a gift card to a certain restaurant, make sure it looks like a credit card, or that it looks black, so that way it looks like you're handing them an American Express black card. So you can actually use that and try and impress them by making it look like, here's my no-limit credit card.
Oh yeah, just put like a Xerox.
I mean, it may be a gift card that
else.
says Olive Garden on it, but she don't know that. All she sees is a black card being handed off, so that's like a way to impress her.
Or you can like tape like a sticker that looks like something better.
It's a Discover card.
Or
Man,
180 that, maybe you're dating someone who really enjoys the fact that you're frugal and would like that about you.
I
so
would
it
be
could work
like,
in your favor.
I would be like flipping it on its head. So I'd be like, listen, I have so many points with my unlimited credit card that I earn free gift cards.
Yeah, I earn free
hundreds of dollars of free gift cards a month. I got to use these gift cards somehow, somewhere. I suppose I'll use some of my free money on this
You know what?
date.
If she doesn't accept my gift card, We probably shouldn't get together in the first place because there's gonna be a few gift cards in my life, and I'm gonna probably use it because I'm
Obviously,
gonna
it depends
forget.
on your personality and her personality.
Exactly.
But this is the first gift card, so you want to like make a good
It's the first
impression.
gift card.
Yeah.
Or
This
it's
is
a
my
first
first
date.
gift
It's a
card.
first date. It's a first date. It's a first date. So the internet says when polled, 61% of the internet said it's not appropriate to use gift cards on a first date.
Guess my money's no good here.
61% said no. All right, you're up. Let's do this.
No.
Let's see. Did I have the first one I wanted to go with here? Okay, this one kind of easy, yeah.
All right.
Because it's kind of in the vein of what we've been asking before. It seems like a lot of these questions get repeated a lot.
What's
so.
again with the vein?
In the same vein of
The vine, the fruit.
I'm going to continue to use that one, so just get used to it.
There you go.
And who should this be to?
Pick anyone.
We'll go to Artisan because.
All right, ArtisianK, number 2 in a row.
Bombarded
2 in a
right
row.
from day one.
Pow.
Well, we're all going to chime in on this one
yeah.
anyways, but
That's
you
usually
get the first whack at it.
Yeah.
All right, so hold the internet. Could LeBron beat any NHL player in a fight?
No. No.
Not a
Sorry.
chance.
Those guys have way better conditioning than any basketball
I say
player.
expound on that.
I don't care how tall he is, how much he weighs. First off, I don't think he's ever been in a fight. I'm pretty sure they fight on the regular in hockey.
Yeah.
Yes, they do it with pads. They take those pads off. They take the helmet off. They rip that off. Beat the crap out of each other.
Take an ice skate off and slash.
How many
it.
times do you see people lose their teeth because of a fight in basketball? It's usually because, oops, a ball hit me in the face, or I went diving for a ball, or I dunked it and I fell on my head or something. Those are your injuries, rolling ankles. Not because somebody knocked your face at.
There's a lot of fronting that goes on in basketball where people are like, and then people hold you back, and you're like, man, if they weren't holding me back, I'd get you.
In the time
But
period
in
that I used to
hockey,
watch,
they're just like, let them fight it
Some of
out.
the guys not holding them back anymore. They're still sitting there like, what?
well, it's literally
What?
part of the game.
I mean, hockey, they
part
literally
of
fight,
hockey.
and then afterwards they're like, all right, throw them in the penalty boxes.
Yeah, it's literally
after
a part,
they let them fight.
It's a part of the game. They fight.
Literally a part of the game.
And only in like the early 90s, late 80s did I ever see really any kind of somewhat fighting in basketball.
I mean, we aren't talking any NHL player here, so I mean, you could probably try and find the weakest, whiniest one.
sure,
but,
I
you know.
suppose. I guess.
But I guess, yeah, in general, that makes sense. Any NHL player is
I
much
know
more.
he's probably got him in height. He's got
much
him in,
tougher than he
He's
is.
definitely probably got him in height and maybe weight even. But it's like those guys are conditioned to have all this weight on them and do the same thing that a basketball player is doing with all this weight, not wearing shorty shorts, not hardly jogging or playing defense half the time.
And you know they can take a punch.
Yeah, they can take a punch.
So they're going to take everything he gives, and they're going to continue to keep coming forward.
Yeah.
Can he take the kind of brutality?
And is he going to have his posse with him, or is it just going to be LeBron? He might just chicken out and go home. He might not even show up. Might be more worried about his receding hairline getting messed up or something. I don't know.
like Grande Vargas saying, how about food stamps in regards to the question about
Right.
the gift card, whatever. I'm like, you know what? If they got a food EBT card or on food stamps, they're probably going to be asking her to pay for the meal. Let's be honest.
I'm sure it's happened. You can have whatever you like. What was the
On your dime. So
But it's any, so it might be like you get to pick, or maybe it's like he gets to pick. If he gets to pick, he might win the fight. But if they got to pick,
They're not generally like short though. I mean, I think a lot of the hockey players are around 6 foot.
and it depends on where they fight. If they fight in the hockey ring, he's
yeah.
over. It's over.
yeah, that's a.
They
If they
triple
fight
the
on a
stick.
basketball
Quack,
court,
quack, quack.
if they fight on a basketball court, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I still think any NHL.
And if they were
Sorry.
in the equipment, I mean, they'd probably slide over his
If it was a dunk contest, he'd win.
slide over him in his
You know?
equipment.
If it was a dunk contest, he'd win.
So when it comes to the polling of the internet, 77% of the internet is correct, and they said no.
See?
Wow, 77% of the
Yeah.
internet thinks that.
Sorry,
Thinks that
LeBron.
he could not beat any NHL player.
And
Wow.
now.
And I tend to agree with him, yes,
Yeah.
because
These guys also play until their 40s.
he's shown me
you know?
no toughness whatsoever.
Yeah, he was so candy when
Just
he was in his
really good
prime.
about doing a lot of.
He's just actually shut up somewhat since he's been, moving around, to LA. Like I had a bad season in LA, so I'm gonna not, to act like a
Finally, finally eating that humble pie keeps getting
a
served
little
to him.
bit, little bit,
Little bite,
little bit.
little bite. All right, you get to ask one of us.
All right. Well, I really like this question for both y'all, so this is gonna be difficult for me to just choose one.
You gotta pick one of us as the primary.
I'm gonna go to you.
All right,
I'm gonna go to you, warrior.
all right, all right.
This is a would you rather question.
Oh no.
Would
I
you
love those
rather
questions.
A, get paid $1 million a year, but have to work ridiculous hours,
Ew.
Or B, get $100,000 a year for doing nothing.
Well,
You ain't making $1 million a year.
no. 100,000 because 1 million a year, but ridiculous hours you never get to benefit from even using it. You're never going to get to actually enjoy your family or using the money or anything. You're just a slave at that point.
And that bracket,
you're an absolute
tax
slave.
like 80% of it too.
Yeah, and you're going to get taxed like ridiculous anyway.
That's
You know,
true.
70%'s gone anyway. You're only making 300,000 probably after taxes. So whatevs. If you get 100,000, but you don't have to work, now you got your whole life to do whatever you want: vacation, volunteer,
Make
help
extra
people
money on the
out,
side.
go spend time with your family. I mean, you get to go on, whatever, vacations, mission trips, whatever you want to do. You got your whole life ahead of you, and 100,000 a year. That's great income. Even if you get taxed at a 40% rate, that's still 60,000 a year to live off of. I don't care where you live. That's a great income. That would be more than sufficient, and you got your whole life. So even if you had to supplement that
wouldn't get
income,
bored?
you could supplement your income.
Yeah.
And my point is, you wouldn't get bored because you could still work. It
Yeah.
didn't say you couldn't work.
Yeah.
It didn't say you couldn't go on vacation or couldn't volunteer or couldn't do other things. I mean, if you're philanthropic, you could still go do other things to help out. I mean, you could go volunteer or whatever.
I don't understand the fact that this question exists.
Yeah, and you picked it, so whose fault
Well,
is that?
I think that's a good question for a lot of short-sighted people because they're like, well, I'd much rather make $1 million a year. But it's like, okay, well, your entire life is spent at your job now, and it's probably a job that you're not going to end up
Some
liking
people are like
because
that
it's
already,
ridiculous
not
hours,
making
so-
$1 million.
Yeah.
But yeah. Or
And
making
with
$1 million.
with tax reform that recently came through, actually the tax bracket has moved. You have to make over $105,000 before you get dinged as hard as you used to by just making up to $100,000. So you actually end up keeping more of it now.
Aha!
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, I actually looked right into it.
Yeah, I probably would have done the same. So 88% of these internet peoples picked B as well.
Yeah, that's smart.
88%.
Only 12 people wanted to be slaves.
I guess.
Wow.
I don't really enjoy that job
That's
very
pretty
much.
good that 88% of people are smart.
What's funny is it's not even like a
Smarkles.
job you like. It just says you don't have to work ridiculous hours.
Yeah.
Ridiculous automatically implies something you're not going to enjoy. It's not
Ridiculous.
like you get to pet puppies for 40 hours a week or 86 hours a week,
Yeah, but it doesn't say. You could be petting puppies.
But even
for
if it was
80
petting
hours a
puppies
week.
for 80 hours a week, I'd want to I'm sorry, kick a puppy
Well, can you
after
bring
80
it-
hours. I'm sorry, get out of here, puppy.
You bring your family in. Hey, everybody want to pet a puppy?
No,
Help me out here.
no, get out of here. I'm sorry, get out of here. I don't want to deal with that
So
anymore.
mean, kicking
No.
puppies
No.
just because you have to do it for 80 hours a week.
This is a terrible question, but sometimes these questions aren't exactly fair, like that one.
Yeah,
It's
right.
like not so right.
Sometimes they can corner you.
Yeah. So I asked you the last question, so we're gonna move to you.
And I'm gonna drop my card.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's over.
Cards on the ground. That's
Never gonna
fine.
come back.
It was already asked.
Done, lost
So
forever.
SureShot. This is terrifying. Would you go to a football game at a 70,000 seat stadium?
70.
Yeah, 70,000 seat
Okay.
stadium. There's a lot of people in there.
Mm-hmm.
If you knew that 500 random seats would get ejected into a black hole, so they're forever gone and dead, but
Why?
everybody who didn't get ejected would win $5 million.
Ooh. Are you gonna
So,
be Oprah and kill a bunch of people?
70,000 people would go into there. 500 would be ejected into a black hole.
Black hole doesn't necessarily mean
So
they're dead.
this is basically a yes or no question, not
Yeah.
so much a would you rather.
Yeah, and this
Black
means you
hole.
have to sit in one of those 70,000 seats, and you could be one of the random
black hole.
500 that's
500
ejected.
Doesn't mean.
Well, and exactly, a black hole doesn't
Dead.
exactly mean death. I mean, obviously,
You
if
could
it's
just be
space, whatever.
exploring.
But
That's good,
into
brother.
another
even if
dimension.
you're shot into space, you'd have that moment of having no air or whatever, and probably trying to whatever scientifically actually happens to you when you're in a void of space.
Who cares? They're dead.
Whatever.
You
But
killed 500
Snap your
people.
fingers.
Yeah.
Just
But-
like
well,
that.
I mean, that's assuming.
69,500 people would become rich.
Yeah, 5 million.
And you might not be one of them.
Yeah. And that would-
Holy moly!
And
But
that would
you might-
barely scratch the surface of what they pay
But you
NFL
could be an
players every year.
explorer.
So,
You could be an explorer. You can
yeah,
have a seat.
hypothetically,
You could be Dora the Explorer.
Hypothetically, if I survived the
I was thinking
launch,
more like
I would
Captain
like to
Kirk.
see where the other end of the black hole would lead me. So really, in a situation like that where I'm feeling froggy, that's kind of a win-win.
Yeah.
I mean, you get to
seek
explore the
out-
vastness of space while you're
You
sitting there.
might-
I think you're
floating through.
missing. I think you're missing the picture.
Oh no! I'm trying to find the best possible outcome here. Yes, obviously we'd all assume that if you're jettisoned in space, you die from the launch, first of all. You die from the lack of oxygen. You die from being in the void of space. And if you got shot into a black hole, who knows what would happen to you even passing through to the other side. So obviously I wouldn't want to.
You just know statistically you're not going into space and you don't mind sending 500 other people into space. You're making a choice for 500 other people that wouldn't want to go into space because you're the only one that knows this.
Hey,
so
even
70,000 go in there and have no idea. They're going into a stadium thinking they're going to watch a football game. Next thing you know, 500 people are dead.
Hey, I'm not allowed to remove the warning labels off of things, so we got to population control somehow.
Hey, if it
That's terrible.
If you got to choose, and it was like a Bears-Packers game, for instance.
Oh my goodness,
Up in Lambeau Field. See you later, Packer fans.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry, a few Bears fans.
Wow. Wah, wah, wah.
Because we're talking about random here, right?
So your answer is
I'm saying,
yes?
you get to choose.
I mean, yeah, like I said, if I'm feeling froggy, and I am today, so yeah, I'm going to say yes.
Okay, so what would be the football game that you'd go to?
What would be the football game I'd go to?
Yeah, it's a football game.
Oh,
70,000 people.
Is this made by Americans or is this made by the British? It could be. We talking about soccer?
Well, his answer, so he gets to determine that.
Oh man, if it was soccer, I would totally just pick any random team. I don't care because soccer fans, we could jettison the whole crowd. I would.
Oh
man.
man!
When it comes to football, American football, I would have to say
Football Americano.
it would have to be a Packers-Patriots game for sure.
Oh yeah, just everybody, and then you just like I'm gonna leave
you
before
wouldn't
this happens.
care?
Because I wouldn't care, yeah. Because then two of the most annoying teams in the world, and their fans to go along with them. 500 of those guys, hey, you're welcome, America. So yeah.
Well, not like a Yankees and Red Sox game because that's kind of.
Would you even go to the stadium?
Is it football?
You wouldn't care about the money. You just not go.
Oh no, I'd have to benefit from that too.
Because it says you would go. Would you go to a football game? So you'd have to go to the football
right.
game.
So assuming if I didn't go to the football game, I wouldn't get the money. Obviously, and
What if I go to the football game, knowing this is gonna happen, just to show up, look around, see who's all there, snap my fingers and leave, and then boom, everybody goes. And does that.
Man.
So I don't get any better.
no,
or worse.
I think based off of how the question states, it's a football game. Whether
You
or not
have
I
to
want to
go.
go, if I go, I get the $5 million if I survive. But I would, go knowing that 500 people are going to be jettisoned into space. That's
Black hole.
Black hole, Texas
Black
T.
hole.
Not just space. Black hole. That's terrifying.
I'd roll that dice.
You're a terrible human being.
I don't think I
You're
can.
taking the chance
maybe
on the money.
later on, without the pain medication I'm on right now, my answer might change. But today, right now,
Can I go into that stadium with a spaceship for halftime show?
No.
yeah, I'd show up in a spacesuit.
Oh.
Hey, okay for a little while. This sucks even more. I get to watch everybody die.
So the internet.
Yeah, what the internet say?
Yeah, 85% said yes, they would do it.
See, I'm just as horrible as 85% of the people polled. Well,
Yes, you
Just a
are.
normal, horrible human being.
Today.
Yes, you are. All right.
But like I said, ask me that tomorrow. My answer will probably change. No, not tomorrow, because tomorrow's gonna be interesting. But in a couple of weeks, ask me that question and I'll
Send me into space.
Yeah, I don't care. I want to be one of those chairs that gets jettisoned.
Yeah.
All right, so it's back to me.
There's
Yep.
a story now. Story time.
Story time.
Pull the internet. Let's see, who's this gonna be for? Well, I already asked you last time, Artisan. So Warrior, what's worse? People who run marathons or polar plunge people?
People who run marathons.
Yeah?
Think across the board?
Yeah. And this is why. People who run marathons, they have to polar plunge people, I never really hear about that. You may see stories
I
about
know
it.
exactly where you're going with this.
And other people talk about it. They're like, "Oh, did you hear that these people jumped in?" And then you see this wicked video, but you didn't. People aren't posting about it or whatever. And they're just like, "Oh, by the way, there's these crazy people jumping into the water, and it's frigid and
That's insane.
they're
I could never
crazy."
do that, but they're cool.
And they're cool. And these people are laughing and joking, and they're jumping into the water, and it's like, ha, whatever. But they're not going around and planning and preparing for it, and spending all this time and shoving it in everybody's face and
putting their 26.2 sticker over every vehicle they drive.
Wait, does this have anything to do with when we went four-wheeling and you had all those cyclists?
But
no, because they're
people
not
who run
marathons.
marathons,
they think they are.
people who run marathons, I hate to say it, but there's a little bit of virtue signaling. It starts with a good intentioned thing. It starts with taking care of themselves. It starts
It's a
with
completely selfish thing though, because you're doing it to work out to make yourself better, and by God,
that's
you're
a
gonna
good
let
thing.
everybody else know about it.
But from my experience, it starts with individuals who want to take care of their body, and they start running, and they're like, "Hey, I got my first 5K done. I'm so proud of myself." And I'm like, "Yay, that's cool." And I've done that, and that's good. And it starts with 3K or a 5K, and then it's I did my first
Circle K.
5 mile, and I'm like, awesome, and or I've done that, and it's like I did my first half marathon, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a major achievement.
Yeah.
And then they're like, I know I've done, I did the mud challenge, and it's like, oh, that's cool, and then they're on social media all the time, and I'm doing this and this and this and this, and it's like I did my first marathon, and and they can't stop posting about their self and all these achievements, and it's
about their training days, about their new workout clothes, about their new shoes,
about their new training days and workouts and shoes and all of this stuff, and it's like all about them and nonstop. And for those individuals I know that do that stuff, and it's at some point you start to go like, okay, enough already. Like, I'm proud of you, good job.
You're fit, you take
but
care of
is
yourself.
there somebody else? Is there someone else in your life that can pat you on the back so you don't have to pat yourself on the back because it's ugly?
I'm getting tired out watching your arm.
Yeah. So like everyone has this like beast inside of them that needs fed. And you need somebody else in your life to feed that for you so you can stay humble. Because when you feed that beast, it's ugly.
Yeah.
And
This is true.
this isn't just for marathoners. This isn't just for marathoners. This is for me.
Everybody.
This is for you guys. This is for everybody watching. Like, we all have a beast, and he prevents humility. And if you have people in your life, let them praise you and give you the food for your beast. Because if these people in your life don't praise you and tell you a good job done and all that kind of stuff, you're going to feed it yourself, and your humility goes right out the window, and it is ugly. And next thing you know, you're putting stickers on your car and bragging all the time on Facebook, and it's just like, blech. So, and the marathoners in my life I know about, that's exactly what happens, and it's like, but the polar bear plungers don't do that.
Yeah.
they just go. It's just like craziness, and someone took a
usually the
video.
wacky, zany, fun people in your neighborhood, whatever.
Like me.
Yeah, exactly.
But have you
And they
ever done a polar
oh, did you hear
bear
what Joe's doing?
Yes,
this
I
week?
have done
yeah.
polar bear plunge before.
Where
In
was that?
fact, when I was in high school, I used to jump randomly into, just for fun, just into a ice. Like an ice pool. No, just an ice pool. You just get a tub, fill it up full of cold water, and put ice in there, and you just jump into it.
Ice bucket challenge for ALS.
Yeah.
No, you just do that for your
More virtue signaling.
You actually do it for your muscles.
Yeah, I know.
So anyway, but anyway, that's a whole nother day. But
Yeah.
but long story short, you don't go tell a bunch of people that. You don't like
He
talk
just
about
told
it
me.
on Facebook and like, well, the question brought it up. So. But I mean, I haven't like put it on Facebook.
What about your marathons? No.
Exactly.
Tell me all about those.
Yeah, I told everyone about. No, I'm just kidding.
It's funny because I'm
Grandstand and marathon runner.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I would have answered, because yes, I know a couple different marathoners, and yes, I definitely hear about it whenever it happens, whenever they talk about it, or how far they made it this time or
How
whatever.
much
but-
steroids they use.
Grande Verga says, just like Spartan runners, like Cubs fan
Exactly.
on.
Exactly.
Oh.
Oh, Cubs fan is a Spartan runner?
Yeah, he just did one.
Oh.
Yeah, which is good for him, and that's
there
great.
you go, Cubs. All right.
Which is good. He needed to get, he wanted to get back into shape, and he started working out and started doing that, and good for him that he did that.
Not to say this
challenge.
across
That
the
was
board,
good.
there are definitely marathoners and Spartan runners out there who are not virtue signaling, prideful people. So yes, there are the few that slip through the cracks once in a while. But 68% of the internet said marathoners as well.
All right.
And
So,
I have to agree with
2/3.
that, because I was going, you know what, I know where you're gonna go with this, and I think it's the same thing as what I would say, because
Yeah.
polar plunge people, you don't hear about them.
What was the last one for? Oh, that was me. So this one's going.
Oh, I
to-
know it's going to him.
Okay.
Oh, you know it's going.
All right,
He's-
sure shot.
he's
This one's
enjoy this one.
yours.
Yeah. So it kind of goes along the same lines as your one to me a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Who would you rather be? Tom Brady or LeBron James?
Ouch.
Oh.
I love the picture of LeBron too. He looks like an old man.
When do you ever had a beard like that?
I know. And it's like he's younger than Tom Brady, but Tom Brady still looks like he's 12. It's
Mhm.
really weird. Anyway. Yeah, they did make his beard look a little bit bushier than normal.
Ugh.
Look at his hairline. It's almost actually
Two
hair.
guys that I really, really
I know!
don't like.
This is great. Who would you rather be? We could spend like 2 hours viewing it, like sitting there going, I don't know. Would I rather have this kind of cancer or would I rather have
You know
that
what? I would have to say, when it comes down to overall athletic ability, I would probably rather be LeBron, because it's a good possibility that he I think he does more physically. I think he does more physically in a game than Tom Brady does.
Well,
Prove me wrong out there. Is basketball not a more cardio-intense sport? He pretty much just has to hang back on the sidelines or hang back behind his linesman or whatever, throw a ball. He might have to move a little bit once in a while, but he's never running up and down the field.
he has to tap dance a little bit in the pocket, and
A little
sometimes
bit.
he has to run.
But we're
for
still
a first
talking
down.
Tom Brady here, who always has an offensive
I think
line
that
will
would be
just
an
do
argument for
anything
why
for
I'd
him.
want to be Tom Brady, because I wouldn't have to do as much for the money.
Right, I'm just
Same
saying.
amount of money, same amount of
Let me
years.
reason this out here. So I'm saying, as far as getting that athleticism and that height or whatever, that's one way. But when it comes to the prestige of football and being a quarterback, and especially the Patriots, not to mention the money, the phosphorus white teeth, the very attractive wife.
5 Super Bowls.
The off season's larger with the football. You don't have as many games.
You get more time off
don't
to
have
be able to do whatever
nearly
you
as many
want, to be able to
games.
grandstand and talk about how great of a person you are and how you're the GOAT and all that, and talk yourself up all the time. So
They talk it up
I
all
mean,
the time.
yeah, exactly.
And it's a higher paying
I
sport.
mean, yes,
Much higher
LeBron is
paying
probably going to
sport,
play from
so-
18
Didn't you
years
get
old
just
to like
a
$45
$40 million
or something.
contract for 2 more years?
Oh, they did re-sign him?
I'm pretty sure they just
There
resigned
was
him
a
for
couple
2
other
more
teams
years.
were talking
And
about.
there was even talks about him going to the Bears. I was about like, oh, what? I don't know if I want
Ugh.
that. I haven't seen anything otherwise. so-
Almost be as
I
weird
could
as
be wrong.
Aaron
I
Rodgers
swore-
going to the Bears.
I swore they said it was like another $20 million a year,
That
for
could be.
$40 million for 2 years, something crazy.
Knowing that, they would try and place
Well, I
their money
haven't been
on
on-
a dead, dying horse.
I haven't been
but-
online really at all today, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Well, I
But-
saw this like a week ago.
No, like I said,
I
so
don't
basically my automatic answer, if I have to pick between those two, is going to be Tom Brady, of course. But
No, you did not say
Yeah, I didn't hear that
You
originally.
did not say
I
it.
heard LeBron James.
I heard
Rewind the
LeBron
tape.
James.
Rewind the
Well,
They
tape.
heard it.
No. All right, guys, you can rewind it with me if they would have let me finish my thought instead of talking over me the whole time. I said if it was going for purely athletic ability, I might go
Yeah.
LeBron, but I was not done reasoning yet.
Yeah.
So
Okay, you gotta
my
speak it
answer
out.
was not done here yet. No, obviously, when it comes right down to it, I was picking LeBron or Tom Brady. I was saying LeBron
did it
simply
again.
out of the. All right, that's it. See you guys later.
I'm just gonna get beat up by a hockey player. It'd be great. I want to be.
Yeah.
I want to be LeBron.
We're just
No,
getting
I was reasoning back and forth, and like I said, I would ultimately go with Tom
Yeah.
Brady for the prestige, for the money, for the the better looks, for the better looking wife, all that.
I don't know what
in
his
one.
wife looks like,
If I
honestly.
had to pick between the two of them, it would be that way, but begrudgingly because they're both just horrible people. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
The beautiful people.
I don't
Beautiful
know them
people.
well enough to call them horrible people, though.
I don't know them well enough either. I just know they're jocks, and most jocks are kind of a-holes. You know, at least until they're
Yikes.
out of high school, and then
Ouch.
they kinda have to grow
Self-serving,
up.
self-deserving. I mean, when the world hands everything to you on a silver platter like they do to those two guys, I mean, why wouldn't
I kind of feel that way about myself.
Well, that's good. All that privilege.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
I don't know them on a personal level. It's more fun to speculate and make fun of as we go. And
Mhm.
I guess there's a part of me that's a little butthurt about Tom Brady because he's got 5 Super Bowls. I'm not butthurt
Yeah, think about how horrible that is, because I'm tired of hearing about it and seeing him. I'd have to look in the mirror every morning then.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not.
Oh,
Yeah, but then
you
you'd be like,
self-deprecate so
no,
much.
because you'd be
I
sitting there
know.
going, "Well,
You're like,
I'm
I
really
hate
chiseled.
myself.
Look at
I
this
hate
jaw.
myself.
Yeah.
I'm Captain America.
When I
can do
think
anything."
about you, I
Yeah.
hate myself.
As opposed to
Oh.
looking like that goon with his big old, Abraham Lincoln beard.
Sure,
I don't
look at
care.
it.
I'd rather look like that in the mirror than look like that. No offense to
Oh,
LeBron
that's
James fans.
offense taken.
Personally, I actually wouldn't mind being Michael Jordan, but he's the
Oh,
real
yeah.
goat.
If I suddenly had to pick between Tom Brady and Michael Jordan all the way, are you kidding me?
Woo!
That's a no contest.
Yes, exactly. But
That's a hard question.
All right,
Stop.
you're up.
That's
Let's
oh,
do
hold
this.
on, I didn't say 79% agree
Oh.
with you.
Was that the
Oh,
second one?
ouch.
Oh, that was the second one. All right.
Yeah.
79% agreed with you.
Yeah, for
Okay.
Tom Brady.
All right.
Done.
So,
So Tom Brady.
The Tom Brady. I only got to be in for 1 year.
oh,
and that-
this is a good one for you,
No, is
Artisan K. This is a good one for you.
Well, now you're gonna read it without me.
That's a good one.
Can you do the voice?
I don't know.
Yeah. You want to read that in his voice?
Can you?
All right, so here's what I'm talking about. Would you rather fight at Mike Tyson or sound like him for the rest of your life?
What doesn't matter, because I can just kick him with butt, so
Would
it
you,
wouldn't really matter.
would you rather fight Mike Tyson or sound like him for the rest of your life?
Okay, here's the thing. With Mike Tyson, am I fighting here? Am I fighting the Mike Tyson from his prime, or am I fighting Mike Tyson?
It does not matter. Have you seen him recently?
But he
even recently, he was just training to train just to keep himself in good shape.
Hold on a second. You didn't say anything about fighting him.
What?
It says fight Mike Tyson.
Yeah, fight Mike Tyson, not
fight
him.
Mike Tyson with sound like so fight like.
Are you going to fight him?
You have to either fight Mike Tyson or sound like him for the rest of your life.
Honestly, I would rather get knocked out in the first round against Mike Tyson than sound like that guy the rest of my life. Just because I don't really want to.
Dude, he could kill you.
He could kill
Dude,
me.
he could knock. It's like a bear.
Me.
He could knock your head off.
He could. Okay, they didn't say
your head could break.
They didn't say
your
that I
neck.
wouldn't wear a headgear. See, that's. Saying you could.
You got gloves on. It's
wear
a
headgear.
normal. It's normal.
Does Mike Tyson fight with headgear?
Yeah.
In practices?
No.
This is an exhibition. This is not for all the money in the world.
No, this
all
is
right?
not for any money. This is just to prevent you from having to sound like him for the rest of your life.
Of course, here's the problem. If you get punched by Mike Tyson,
You might
as
end
hard
up
as
like this.
you might end up sounding like him anyway.
How about that? I got my head knocked off. What's going on here?
That's hilarious. That is hilarious.
Well, then I guess it wouldn't really matter. Maybe I'd be lucky he knocks my head off and I wouldn't survive the match. So.
Yeah, but no, you're in a real fight with him. He's going to hit you in the face.
It doesn't even say boxing match.
He could
just
break
says
your
fight.
skull, dude.
Yeah, it just says fight. Like
I mean, Steve-O ran into his fist and messes I up.
And they're going to prop you up. You know that, right? They're going to like wipe you, get you awake, and then like put you back
it's
up.
the
And...
Rye or the Kaiser. It's the thrill of
I mean, I don't know. At that point, you walk in there and you go down after a few punches. I think they're going to call the fight for not answering back. So
They're going to wake him up.
I mean, if you're going to go in there and take it from him, you might as well at least try and throw a few punches just to see what you can do.
Sure, I'll go up in there. I'll just try to get it, but I'm sure he'll knock my face in.
Galen Thug says that he started the same time as I started my Scissorman accounts, and he sunk a bunch of money trying to keep up, and he's focused on my videos to keep up. I do have my entire year worth of Scissorman account for him to go check out, so that's kind of fun. And I have a huge library of almost 800 videos for him to utilize, which is pretty cool in the game. So that way, if he wants to go check out any of the things,
tips and tricks have not disappeared. They're still on there.
Tips and tricks are still in there. So there's a huge plethora of videos for you to go check out for the game. So things about mods or how to mod, even like GOTB if you want to learn how to take down some of the special nodes on GOTB. Yeah, the Acklay down. There's still people, even in Team Instinct, that use my Acklay down. So there's that. He says the week I quit, he also quit. Oh. He says, thanks for your life advice. Oh, man, you know what? It's just one of those things. I still do. I love coming on, and I love hanging out with you guys and just socializing and chatting and laughing. That's life, right? Just hanging out and laughing and socializing. That's one of the things about live streams that are the most fun with you guys is we get to talk, and you guys get to answer the questions in the live stream chat, which is fun. So, you did get the answer. You said, ArtisianK, you said you'd like to fight Mike Tyson.
Well, here's the thing. Do I get a
him.
trainer? Do I get a trainer in this?
No, you're going to get punched
I'm just going to
around.
randomly just get into a fight with Mike Tyson.
Yeah, and you're going to lose bad.
Well.
And the internet said that they would just rather getting a fight with him too. 64% would rather just get pummeled.
See how hard of a question that is, ultimately?
Right.
It's not really. 2/3 would rather
either
just
one's
get
not
pummeled.
fun.
I mean,
1/3 would rather just sound like him forever. That's
they realize
they could
they could realize they can recover from a fight. You can't recover from a voice like that.
Yeah, I mean,
because then of course everybody's gonna be like, "What do you think? What, he's such a big fan of Mike Tyson? You talk like him all the time?"
It'd be a lot more fun if I look like Mike Tyson, because that guy's physically intimidating, but then he talks like that, so it cracks you up, right?
Ballin'
But then
Thug
he
says
punches your
he's
face
trying
off.
to make a donation. I appreciate that. If it doesn't work, no worries, brother.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming and just hanging out with us for sure. It's good times. Yep. All right, you're up, my friend.
All right, Asia.
This should go probably to ArtisianK next, I'm thinking.
No, he just did me, didn't he?
Oh.
Didn't he?
What's the last one?
Marathons went to me.
No,
yeah, it went to you.
So, sorry, you just went to me.
Oh yeah, we'll save that one to last.
Ooh,
all right.
How it is.
So,
ArtisianK.
Oh man, these stools are very.
This is a would you rather.
Comfy.
And a pretty good picture too. Would you rather be stuck in Jurassic Park or Jumanji?
Oh no.
Oh man, that's an interesting one. Okay, so I didn't watch the Rock Jumanji, so.
And no, sorry, Robin Williams is not in this one.
Yeah.
Nope.
Do I get to be the Rock if I'm in Jumanji?
No, it's you. You're either stuck.
Well, no, you have to be
You're
a
stuck.
character.
It said, would you rather be stuck
You have to be
in
a
one movie or
character.
the other movie? No.
I might agree with him on that one because when it comes to Jumanji, especially the new one, you have to pick a character before you go in.
Or they pick it for you or
No,
whatever.
you
you.
need to be a
It
character.
does say you,
If
though.
you're talking original and you want to throw that garbage out the window, then
That comes to you. That
Then-
game comes to you, and you get to like. Sort
right.
of
No,
get
but I'm saying,
involved.
but if you want to, stick with the original and not the garbage remake, then.
Or are you
wanna-
saying like I get to be Robin Williams, get stuck in the game, come out with a giant beard and long
Yeah.
hair, getting hunted by my dad with a big mustache?
Because I guess when it comes to talking about Jurassic Park, we're talking about the original. So
Yep.
when we're talking about Jumanji, we're talking about the original. So
Yep.
yeah,
I like dinosaurs.
not the game version, not the Chris Pratt
Even
version.
the ones that eat you?
Here's the thing.
Like all
it
of them?
doesn't say that Jurassic Park isn't working or isn't running necessarily, right? So maybe they got it
Well,
running.
you are
for a change.
stuck there. So I mean, I guess it would imply.
And Jurassic Park is only frightening in the dark. All the dinosaurs
What?
are running wild, you know? Someone shot the fence off in the rain.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Something's not right with him.
I admit it's kind of eerie. Anyway,
Weird Al Yankovic, anybody?
yeah, I don't know. I just like dinosaurs. I guess part of me. I mean, you have a chance.
Well,
to
there
be,
would only be a part of you.
there's a
If they
chance.
decided not to gobble
There's
it
a
whole.
chance
Yes.
you can be eaten by a hippo or a lion or a tiger in Jumanji, right? Just as easily as you can be eaten by a Tyrannosaurus Rex. If you sit still, you might not be, or a raptor, and it's not gonna feel good regardless. All right, so I mean, what am I?
I picture you running on the road going, I tried to stay still, it didn't work, it didn't work.
Hurry up, everyone, hurry up!
So what's your final thing? You would rather Jurassic Park? So you could enjoy watching the T-Rex eat you because you enjoy dinosaurs? I'm trying to understand the logic.
There's
really
no
quick.
logic. It's like well, I'm gonna die either way. It seems.
Oh,
like.
okay. You know you're gonna die.
Well, and if we're going off movie logic, I mean, you're going to survive either one of them, so.
I suppose that's true. I could survive. I mean, if Dr. Grant can survive,
Mm-hmm.
you know, with kids,
Yeah.
with children,
Yeah.
who gets struck by lightning, these children can survive. I see the better shot of being able to survive that. Also, it's more entertaining. I prefer Jurassic Park as
Just
a
got to
movie
watch out for them clever
over
girls.
Jumanji. They have better CGI in it.
Okay.
That's one thing about Jumanji, too. It seemed like all the animals in there were embellished quite a bit. It seemed like they were more dangerous or ferocious or ridiculous than they actually are.
Well, they're
in real life.
animatronic. Some of them were. Yeah, but I feel like we don't know enough about dinosaurs, and that was just a really cool movie. I mean, it was like one of my, not one of, yeah, it was probably one of my first art
What did the internet say?
Some historians would say that we've actually walked among the dinosaurs and they probably had them as pets, so, you
You never know. I mean, if we had that icebreaker from last week, I could be talking to these animals either way, and I'd be fine. You know.
Yeah, the question last week was, would you rather be able to speak all languages or be able to speak to animals?
The language of
I
love.
like to speak to animals.
I picked all languages because I felt like it would be more lucrative and you could probably
Animals.
do more with it.
There's only
but,
3 of
you know,
us.
animals are cool, don't get me wrong, but I think in a real world sense, I would much rather be able to speak to everybody.
What's up with that?
Aldry, what's up? He says, "What's up, Warrior?" And SureShot.
yo.
This is ArtisianK. If you want to say what's up to ArtisianK, and if you don't,
Chop
just
liver.
don't say hi.
Yeah.
Chop. liver.
I love lamp.
I
there
love
you
lamb
go.
too.
I
So-
love lamp.
I'm a glass case
Jason.
of emotion.
Yeah,
What the
you always
internet
are.
say?
So the internet said 63% of the readers chose Jurassic Park as well.
Okay,
See, it's a
so
better movie, better
2/3
book.
chose Jurassic
Yeah.
Park.
Yeah, I was like, are they going purely off of just being a better movie, or?
All right, so this one is for you. Now, I don't know how much knowledge you have of these two characters,
Okay.
but I'm kind of interested in it.
All right,
Yeah,
all right.
alright.
Okay.
So where we go with this?
Because this is also a very interesting, answer from the internet. So, who's more butt kicking?
Okay. Who can kick more rear end?
Yeah, who's a better
Rear end kicker.
kick more
rear end
backside.
kicker?
Okay.
Or just more bad booty?
Who's the backside brood?
Yeah, James Bond or Jason Bourne?
Oh, for me, that's easy. Jason Bourne.
For you, that's easy. For me, that's not.
Yeah. The reason why I picked Jason Bourne is because
Modern filmmaking.
because Jason Bourne.
But when did you stop watching 007 movies?
This is why 007 has always had individuals to help him. He's always had somebody in his corner that he's been able to like
Usually a
pick
very
up,
attractive woman.
to pick up the phone and be like, "Hey, I'm on the outside. I need help." Blah 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 blah, and somebody helps him. Traditionally, he's got like an entire group of individuals, but Bourne, even when he
not too
was
often.
on the outside and he was like literally stripped down, and the entire weight of the entire government was trying to kill him and like set him up, he was still able to be just who he was and totally survive and bring down the establishment because he is who he is. So even when he was by himself, he was literally able to like be this amazing individual.
Used people, though.
So no,
occasionally, and even then it was like,
I mean, he was literally
squish
stripped
face
down.
girl, Julia Stiles.
And then that's why
Squish face
if I had a follow,
here's my theory on Julia Stiles. She went into one too many New York taxis, and they just slammed the brakes one too many times.
No, it was Kristen Dunst. Oh, Julia Stiles.
Yeah, there you go.
He said, Aldrich says, "What's up now?"
Oh, hi. Hi. It's nice
So
to meet
that's
you.
it, because that's the thing. If you can literally be totally and completely ballin' thug, what's up? Thank you for the donation.
Hey,
very, very nice.
He figured it out.
With the little cat. Wait, which I love cats, so that's super awesome. Appreciate the donation.
I almost thought it was a corgi for a second.
Well,
That's totally
I
okay,
know.
yeah.
My follow-up question would be, who's more realistic?
Born.
Well, see, I would go along with him on this one, and here's why. Everything up until Daniel Craig, absolutely Jason Bourne. I mean, it's a hands down, no questions asked.
It's all about
what they're doing
time
with him
periods.
now and the ridiculousness and all that, I would still probably lean more towards Bourne because, yes, you're right. He's more of a lone wolf, and he's done it on his own, and he's been a bit more physical and just brutally beat up people. Whereas I felt 007 has been more suave, more try to talk his way out of situations than being able to just go through with brute force and make it happen.
And he can. And he's not stupid. He's not just some brute force moron either. He
No.
doesn't have to do certain things. He's pretty smart. He's pretty athletic. But he always has to protect some kind of lady. I'm sorry, women. He had to protect some kind of lady during most of these movies. I don't think Bourne gives a crap about ladies. He might actually like Ben Affleck
How many gadgets has Bourne needed to use to take down the people that were coming after
That's
him?
the thing. He's like, part of his sleeve, and then he escapes.
So he's
It's like,
MacGyver.
Kind of. He's
MacGyver's not more
If
awesome.
MacGyver was a good brawler, yeah.
If MacGyver didn't have a mullet.
My point is
Yeah,
that
monkey face,
is that
not a
it's all about dialing it down to just the person and not who he needs or what tools he needs, just the human being, which one. Because the question
and when it comes down to that
literally
too,
says who
I
is
like-
more BA, right?
Right.
These two individuals. And you are made up of your team and your tools as who props you up, right? Well, if you take away the team and tools, who's more BA? Bourne. That's who I say, and that's why.
When it comes,
I got good
when it comes
justifications,
down to
my
the
friend.
movies, though, I like the 007 movies more than I like the Bourne movies.
Well, I just feel like he's more like the one-liners are more BA. I can kill you with a one-liner, instead of my shirt sleeve or running around doing parkour.
Matt Bailey doesn't like Daniel Craig as James Bond. I think there's a lot of people that agree with you.
Okay, now
Matt.
who's uglier, Daniel Craig or Matt Damon?
Ball and Thug says Bourne only cares about the unattractive ladies. Well, see, at least he cares about someone, right?
Not really.
Well, yeah,
See,
because
neither
who was the
Chuck
gal?
Norris destroys
Yes.
them both.
Yeah, well, there you go.
That's because he's larger than life. When he does push-ups, he pushes the
5'7",
earth
larger
down.
than life.
He pushes the earth off the axis.
Yeah.
So yeah,
He could probably yank a beard hair, straighten it out, and throw it at you like a spike.
You may have made it sound easy, but 50%
Ooh.
of readers say
50% of the internet.
yeah, it's 50-50. It's down,
Wow,
down the middle,
50-50.
bro. It's down the middle.
I think that's
50% said Bourne or Bond.
50% chose Bond,
Oh, chose Bond.
but it's still 50-50.
But it's 50-50, so
Yeah.
that's stupid. That means the person who wrote that card has a preferential treatment towards
Guess
Bond.
which one they use? That's Sean Connery, the most
Yeah.
BA.
Yes, but
Most BA Bond. For
let's
sure.
just say that the only reason why it's not greater is because Bond has been around far longer, and there's far more movies. If there
I don't know,
was,
there's a lot of Bourne
if there
movies
was
these days.
way more Bourne movies and way more like legacy with
We're
Bourne,
only up to 5 Bourne movies.
I'd like to see
and
what.
it's the same guy for all of them. It's only 5.
Let's
and
just see
No,
Matt
they,
Damon
they
do
brought in
one.
Jeremy Renner for
Matt
the last
Damon.
one.
Let's see if Matt Damon does one
Matt
at 60
Damon.
years old. That's all I'm
Yeah.
gonna say. If he does one at 60 years old, then yeah,
Oh,
maybe.
no, I'm sorry. Bourne, Matt Damon in his
Matt
prime, what
Damon.
he can do against Sean Connery in his prime, I would still have to go with Bourne.
If they're gonna fight, they're not supposed
Yeah.
to fight. They're supposed to be one's more BA than the other.
Yeah. I guess if you're going with overall.
They say who's gonna win in a fight.
BA-ness,
They didn't say who's going to win in a brawl with their shirt off. Or anything.
I just think if you strip them down, take away their tools, take away their crew.
You don't think the judo chop? Just get him like instantly.
Yeah.
With the judo chop.
He's just
You'd be
better.
like, oh,
all right, are we down to one?
I don't
Are we
know.
down to one?
If we're talking about cool points,
Look at the villains.
if we're
he had.
talking
Alright.
cool points, then
Alright.
I'm definitely gonna go with Bond.
Look at the
I
villains.
saved the best card for
Odd
last.
job.
Are we down
Nobody
to
could
one?
beat up. He had
We're down to
electrocute
one.
Odd job, and he beat
Alright.
him in hand-to-hand
I saved
combat
you the
with
last
nothing.
one, sure shot.
But
This
his
is the best
ingenuity.
card.
Come on, people.
I think we could debate that one much further, yes. But when it comes down to the basics, I think we've got it figured out.
All right.
I don't
I
think
saved
Bourne
my
can
best
beat
card
Odd
for
Job.
last, and this one goes to SureShot, but
Alrighty.
you can obviously chime in. I don't,
See
think,
what I got
I, don't
for
think I don't think I can get you to not chime in.
I have nothing to say to you.
All right. Well, then hopefully you don't say anything.
Oh, I see how it is.
I might as well just get
Yeah, careful. He's pretty born hurt right now.
He's pretty born hurt.
I feel like I'm
Okay,
having an
all
identity
right.
crisis.
We're going to figure out what the internet thinks of this one, but wow. I'm going to give you the survey first.
Ooh, okay.
Funny thing is, I knew you were going to pick Bourne.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Now, you guys are going to be freaked out about this, but 90% of the internet chose one of these two.
90. Wow. That's
90% chose one of these two. I can't give you the answer of
well,
which
we're
one they
about
chose.
to find out if they're all in the head or if
It's
they're.
yep, it's a
They're
would you
just
rather.
in their head.
So it's one
Would
or
you
the
rather.
other. It's
Ooh,
one or the
I like
other.
these.
Yep. So would you rather, A or B, would you rather have a flock?
A what?
If he says flock of seagulls haircut, I'm
No. Would you rather have a flock of geese swarm you every time you fart?
Yeah, there you go. I had one like this earlier. I didn't pick.
Oh my gosh. I'm just envisioning you accidentally having just the tiniest little... You're like, it was barely, I didn't mean to.
Okay,
it
sorry.
was tiny.
Umbrella.
Or if you accidentally and you didn't even realize it.
right.
You did, it like skeeped out and you didn't even know.
If you're in a movie and want to squeak it out, or if you're in church and sitting there like you're trying to squeak one out sideways, and I was like, ah, that's worse than having your ringtone on.
Or you don't even know.
Yeah, exactly.
You geese and you're like, I swear, I didn't, I know,
I didn't even feel
I
it.
didn't even know. They're like, this
you're
is a
old.
lie.
It's something
You
you're
flock
crop
of
dusting.
geese. It's a sham. Have a flock of geese swarm
flocking
you
geese.
every time you fart. Or B, you never get to use a phone or a computer again.
I know which one I'd pick.
Man, I tell you
No
what.
more SPDs. Good job interview. What up, Andrew? What's going on, brother?
What's up?
Hey, I know you.
Would you rather have a flock of geese
How's that other
swarm
work, by the
you
way?
every
Yeah, we
time
need to
you
know.
fart?
Every time I fart.
How flatulent are you?
He's
I
pretty
guess that's
He's flatulent. He's 6,000 forms of communication.
Yes.
Flatulent.
Yes.
He graduated top of his gas.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a commercial.
My
I love
son's name is Rick. He's on
on
line
line
2. Let's see. So, farting geese or
You're not
no
farting
technology
now
anymore.
anymore.
no phone and no computer. It doesn't say I know iPad,
it. Or laptop.
but I think the heart of the
Right,
question is
exactly.
no
Internet
Yeah.
access.
basically no internet.
Yeah, no
access.
no devices that I basically use on the regular.
Doesn't mean you
every
can't have
day.
a phone. You can just plug one in,
Or never use a phone.
Oh.
Never use a phone or a
Man.
computer
It
again.
didn't say iPhone, just says phone.
Never use
I
a
could
phone.
pull up all kinds of reasoning around this and try and talk it out, whatever. But I guess basically, just call me the geese whisperer.
It would be very annoying to hang out with you with the geese everywhere. I feel like it's birds every time, like Alfred Hitchcock.
Well, hey, you know what?
They're coming.
Then I would become a waterfowl hunter, and I would never have to worry about filling my tag every year.
Yeah, I wonder how they taste if you're gonna have to.
You know, you would find out if you were like, I guarantee you'd figure out what makes you fart, and you would probably try and eliminate any of
Yeah.
that stuff out of your diet.
I would
To try to
change my diet around.
yeah.
Yep.
You're like, no more cheese, no more milk, no more
You're
ice
on the
cream.
toilet.
I could be slightly lactose intolerant, so I'd probably just cut out a good amount of dairy right there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I just, I don't know. I
You'd
guess
start eating slower, chewing
well, that's the
more.
funny thing, because I'd even say I'm gonna go vegan, but I have done that before, and guess what? I fart worse when I do that than when it's just a regular diet. So that would be a difficult one. But yeah, I guess when it comes right down to it, just because my job, my life, our YouTubing is all set up around using computers and phones, so I couldn't pass that up. So to figure out how to keep the geese out of the
But
room
then the
while I'm doing
YouTube
live stream.
videos would be very interesting because you'd be farting and then all of a sudden geese would
Yeah.
be flying everywhere around you.
I mean, I guess that's a different question there too, because I mean, if like you're outside, that's one thing. But I mean, like, would they be able to break down walls
Have
and
you
doors
seen
to come
birds?
into the,
They're breaking through all the doors and the windows, man. They'd be-
Well, I mean, in my lifetime, that just means, guess what? Geese would go extinct.
Well, I don't know. Go watch that movie.
Nobody would be able to sit next to you.
No.
They'd be all waiting
They say
outside your house.
geese.
We're like, oh no, move.
They'd be all waiting outside your
From a
house.
practicality standpoint, I figure out how to make geese work, then I
So,
can figure out how
90%
to
of
avoid.
the internet said which one? What do you think the internet chose?
Oh, this day and age, they would totally say geese too.
Yeah.
Yep, they
Yeah.
did. They
I
chose,
don't
they
think they would-
chose the geese swarming.
Yep, I don't think they would.
chose-
I know myself well enough to know that I couldn't turn down technology.
Yep, they chose
couldn't
the
either.
geese swarming. Wow. Wowzers, wowzers. All right, you're up, brother.
Europe.
Europe.
What does he say? I'll learn to turn the gas around and come out the top. Gotta have
It's
my
called
story
burping.
done.
Burping.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I don't think they're gonna deal
Oh, well, see, I can control burping much better than I can control my farting. So yes, I guess I would be able to mitigate
But if
the,
you did like one of those
the problem a
still
little bit.
burp, you know, I just did double.
If there's no audible belch, it's not a burp.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So it's down to me.
It's down to you.
Who did I go with last
Oh,
time?
what was the question?
Yeah.
The last question
that was his.
Oh yeah, that was
He chose
Artisan.
the
So Warrior,
All right.
would you rather never have to wipe your bum or never have to shave?
Never have to wipe my bum.
Of course.
Ever. That would be so amazing.
Yeah, and all of a sudden I took a huge dump and no cleanup. Woo!
Because I mean, I shave, but I'm lazy. I shave once or twice a week. I'm lazy.
Yeah, I mean it's
It's like, yeah, I don't,
Put them on the streets, with a bag.
I probably should shave more just to keep it clean and my line's clean. But
I
I'm
have
just
to shave
like,
every day.
"Meh." So
That's why this is
I'm
fun.
lazy. I don't shave that
I found
often.
the best way to have to shave the least amount of times in my life.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm like, yeah, I would do a clean bum. That would be awesome.
Yeah. As much as I have a problem with stubble and having to shave all the time, and dulling a razor in 3 to 4 shaves, and having it's gotten to the point now where I just don't even bother with shaving cream anymore because it's just one extra step in all the whole process. So
I mean,
as inconvenient as that is, I would
Inconceivable.
still rather have a clean bum all the time. That would just be
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
that would be way
Yeah.
way
Your
better. That's an
honey's
easy.
clean.
That's an
because
easy question.
this isn't the question of whether or not you'd stop. It's just if you wouldn't have to anymore.
Xevious says, if anyone's a lazy shaver, it's you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sure shot. For sure.
Yeah. You don't want to see this neck beard in the radio.
Ballin' Thug.
Hey.
Donated $2. Thank you, brother.
Again?
What's
What's
up?
up?
Game over. Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah. What about you, Artisan? You had a.
Oh, I'd totally pick the.
Oh man.
Clean
What
bum,
was
yeah,
the poll?
Oh yeah. So when they pulled the internet, 61% of readers chose never to wipe.
What?
That's a little disconcerting to me. I mean, there's that many people out there that would choose to not have to shave anymore.
Well, maybe they have the what's the thing that does water?
But maybe they're talking about ladies.
This is what?
What is the thing that shoots water?
Maybe they're talking
bidet?
about.
Oh, a
ladies.
bidet. Maybe 30% have like a bidet.
Or-
'Cause if I had a bidet, I mean, maybe.
Some
That's
European
possible.
countries, they don't shave.
Yeah.
So they don't worry about it. But maybe we're talking about ladies. They have a lot more to shave.
Well, it's funny.
Women would
it's
choose
funny
not.
you bring up European
Xevious
countries.
says women would choose not to shave. I bet that's what it is.
Yeah,
That's what I was
exactly.
thinking.
That's true.
That's
See,
my
and
favorite.
Grande
You bring
Verga
up-
says
you-
just get a bidet.
You
See,
bring up
that's
another
probably what it
interesting
is.
point, though. Another interesting point. When they polled Europeans, especially European women, they came to find that after doing the tests or whatever, that about 75% of European women have fecal matter on their hands at any given time. I guess they're not really big about cleaning it up well enough down there and afterwards.
So bidets would be more likely to make you not need or want to have to worry about that, and
Right.
you wouldn't have to ever shave again, which is
Yeah.
something that would be a pain in the rear end, metaphorically speaking. So I could see it being swapped for maybe a third of society. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
I guess for me, I don't care about shaving so much.
yeah.
It's not
Simple
that big a
answer,
deal.
ladies. Just stop shaving your legs. I guess.
Armpits and everything else.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's your
Yes.
body, it's your choice, right? Why you continue to stick with that social norm if such a problem
Hey, it's
for
becoming
you.
a thing.
I mean,
It's becoming a thing. Just like our beards, they're growing beards.
just
as well.
saying, nobody's forcing you.
I don't care either way, personally.
You guys, you want your next girlfriend to be able to braid her.
Oh, that's a different question altogether. Different story time, different opinion altogether. I'm just saying, you have the choice. It is your body.
Yes, it is. It is indeed.
That is.
That's,
You gotta
that's,
get past
the
it.
one, that's one of the choices of yours that
And
I
most of the
agree
time-
with. But,
Most of the time, you let it go in the wintertime, which is understandable.
All right.
French women don't do either. You know more French women than I do.
I'm like, I don't have a bidet, but I think it would be awesome
Yeah, oh yeah. I
to
would.
have a bidet
I've
instead
thought about
of
installing
stinky toilet paper wiping and washing hands
There's
all the time. and
there's split valves that you can put on the valve that goes to the tank of your toilet, and then you just reroute that around the front there, and you can make a bidet out of your toilet.
Well, they actually sell them now that you can just attach to toilets now. So
there's a kit for them, so
yeah.
you don't need to have a whole other toilet sitting next to your toilet.
Remember those sprinklers that kids like to play in?
Yeah,
It's basically a bidet.
a fan. Well,
Just okay.
it depends on how much you want to have to,
You remember
say hi to
Happy
the neighbors in the morning.
I say, you remember Billy Madison?
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is a question for surest of shots. It's a really interesting question. It's kind of existential.
Oh, okay.
Sort of.
I can go there.
So, if you're reading the story of your life,
Story of my life.
and you got to present day, would you keep reading knowing you can't change anything you read?
Oh no.
Boom! From the window to the
See,
wall.
that's a difficult one because when people ask the question, if you could go back in the past and change one thing or change anything, what would it be? I automatically go, nothing. Because really, there's a little bit of that annoyance of, why do I want to go through all that again?
Right.
And if I enjoy the outcome that I have right now, I would have the possibility of screwing it up worse so that it wouldn't be as good as it is now.
But this is looking into the future.
I wouldn't be the person that I am today without the mistakes that I made in the past. So that's always an easy question for me. No, I wouldn't go back and change anything because I like who I am right now. And even if I didn't, that's still kind of a silly question because you change so much about yourself that you wouldn't be the same person afterwards.
The question is, would you keep reading knowing you can't change anything that you read in the future?
That's a difficult part because when you suddenly go into the future, then the whole ballgame changes a little bit.
The curiosity's there.
Because I think you would set yourself up for so much more failure because you'd be expecting everything that you've read up to that point.
But you can't change anything.
Exactly, I'm just saying. Nothing can change, but I'm saying you would still be a different person. With that knowledge, you would try to change it. You would change things about your life because you know what's coming up and you know how you're going to die. So, no.
Unless you didn't read the whole thing.
I would not continue reading past the present.
You wouldn't want to, or you would have the self-control.
What if you knew there was like 400 pages and you read
can't stop
3
reading
pages at a time?
You can't stop reading your feed on Facebook. You're telling me you're going to stop reading your freaking story of your life at the point where you're at? You're just like, oh, done. Good. See you later.
Why would you want a book to control the rest of your life?
You don't. It's not controlling it. It is your story of your life.
You couldn't have that and read it and not have it control the rest of your life. I'm sorry, as a human being with that kind of knowledge at your fingertips, if you read it, you know you would change a lot of things about yourself having that kind of knowledge. Sure. You would try to avoid a lot of other stuff. You would stop talking to certain people. You wouldn't get into certain relationships, knowing what was going on there. And you would, yes, obviously it can't change anything, but it would still change you as a person. It would change your thought process. It would change how you interact with people.
Well, sure, you'd be able to tell people what's going to happen in the next 5 years about you.
But if it was a book that was available to me, it'd be interesting to go back and read it as it went along. So I went and got through my day, and I was like, wait a second, what did I have for breakfast? Oh yeah, that's right.
It's an app. They got an app for that.
So you would like to be able to read up to presents. You just wouldn't want to read in the future, knowing anything. Okay, so your answer is no.
Yeah.
So you'd be a chapter behind your life every day.
Yep.
How about you? Would you read the future?
Curiosity, man. Where is it gonna go?
It says you can't change anything that you read.
I get that. It's whether or not you're going to be able to stop. See, I'm not a very strong reader, so I might just get bored halfway through my story and just go, you know what, I can't read these words. And they're convoluted and silly.
What's Xavius's question?
What if it wasn't a step-by-step on your life, but kind of broad things that happen? You could know your death, but not when it happens.
So general. That's a pretty general story, then. I mean, I think
still.
Like it's just really interesting to know how you're gonna die. I mean, look at the. You ever seen Big Fish? He looks into the eye of the witch and finds out how he's gonna die, and so does like his friends. And he's like, oh, okay, it's pretty cool. Kind of like, it's all right. Didn't affect his life none. He was okay with it.
I don't. That's an interesting thought, but I think 99.9% of the people in the world could not have that knowledge and not change their life from that point.
But like I said, it doesn't. It's just you're going to know about it. You're going to be the only one that knows about it unless you tell everybody what's going to happen. I know exactly how my life's going to be today because I read about it. So I don't think you'd necessarily...
Yeah, you'd be an even more annoying, pissed off, burned out person because you have all that knowledge and you can't do anything about it.
Right. Or just do it because that's what you're going to be doing.
Nope.
Yeah.
Just like in life, we're not allowed to know, so I'd still like to not know.
Yeah, well... 62% of the internet agree with you. They would not want to know the future. I really thought the opposite. I thought I thought everybody would only be like, well, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said I really wanted to see that question. It seemed like an existential kind of question.
Andrew would like to know how he got his first million, and then he kicked the book out.
That's all I want to know. How I made my first million.
Cool.
Your first million, huh? Yeah. I like your confidence.
I end up on a street with a sign that says cancer. What the?
Yeah, right. I don't think you're getting $1 million doing that, but we did see a guy trying to get some money doing that.
Yeah,
It's
it
because he
nice
was
sign.
a cancer.
Yeah, and I answered back thinking he was trying to make conversation. Come to find out, that wasn't what he was going
It was
for.
his sign. He's a cancer.
He was watching videos on his smartphone in his chair with really nice clothes, but
You know,
he was hoping somebody gave him some money.
or maybe he was hoping for somebody to give him cancer.
Yeah.
That'd be really weird. I'm not sure why you'd want that, but
I made a really bad joke when we drove by him. I said, that's a bad investment. That's terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
Well, hey, you want to know the outcome, right?
I was like, well, you know.
maybe you should hand
You
him
want
the
to
book
make
about his life.
long-term investment or a short-term investment, guys? Because apparently he's got cancer.
That'd be really
Stop and ask, like,
that was a bad joke.
Is it early stages? Because then I'll invest in that because you have to go take this right now and buy a juicer.
But I was wondering why he was playing on his
That'd be a
smartphone
really-
while he was asking for donations on the corner of a thing. I was like, you might want to be a little more invested in your donation ask, because when people are driving by, eye contact means a lot. So
Right, exactly.
I didn't want to give him like marketing tips though, because
Yeah.
he was asking for money and I felt
Yeah.
bad. And eye
I want
contact
to
works.
help you become a better panhandler. That's just not
No,
how
you
this
should
world works.
should you give him like a fake book that says like this is your life and hand that to him as your
I
thing?
did tell you guys when I was a cop, it's difficult because you're a little bit apprehensive about giving panhandlers money. But when I was law enforcement, I actually worked with the an actual group of individuals who we worked with the homeless in my community. And so we worked it very actively, proactively helping the homeless in my community. And that really jaded me because there was a lot of individuals that were actually by choice living on the streets. And we gave them lots of free stuff, but they still chose to live there. Even though we could have got them off the streets, they turned us down, chose to live on the streets and just ask for money. And we gave them EBT cards for free food, and we offered them housing, and they said no. And we tried to do everything we could to get certain individuals off the street. They just wanted to live that lifestyle. But then to see those same people on the corner asking for money, you get kind of jaded. You're like, man, they don't need that money. Like we got them a food card. They got $200 in their pocket that they get every month for themselves. Like, I don't have $200 for each one of my children for food. So, but anyway. It's just better to donate that kind of money to a charity, and then the charity can help those individuals out better, much
the
better.
actual people looking for that and going to the right places for it, because there's so many resources available to you. When you're not going out looking for it, then obviously you're choosing that lifestyle. So
Yeah.
yes, that's why I have a
Well,
hard time.
we'd meet with them and we'd talk to them and we'd tell them like, what do you need? And they'd say, well, I want a sleeping bag. And I'd be like, okay, here you go. Here's a sleeping bag. And they'd say, okay, well, we want a tent. And I'm like, you want to live out here? Okay, well, here's a tent. And then we'd have people and they'd say, we want housing. And I'd say, are you a vet? And they'd say, yes. And we're like, here's housing. Okay. And you're a woman married or single, with children. Okay, here's housing. But some people we'd say, do you want housing? And they'd say, nope. And we'd say, oh, okay. So I mean, you kind of have to. Some people do choose that lifestyle. Some don't. But it's hard not to get jaded when you're actually involved in that. So the best thing you can do is donate that money to actual organizations that are helping, because $10 to them might buy them a Subway sandwich and a soda, footlong deal, meal deal. But $10 to the soup kitchen.
One cheap bottle of whiskey.
Yeah, but $10 to a soup kitchen can actually feed 20 people.
You buy someone food.
Yeah.
You don't give them money because the money's going to go probably to liquor or drugs.
But
Stupid.
if you actually donate the $10 to a soup kitchen, they can actually feed 20 people a meal, which is nuts. But it's the buying power of a soup kitchen comparatively. So anyway, that's totally off track. But anyway, we do have a story time, and it's totally unrelated to that. So hats back.
Let's go ahead and just switch gears here.
Chop. Yep.
There's my hat here.
Yeah, but yeah, no, law enforcement. I did that a lot, and you're gonna
Sorry, just gotta pick one of these.
stole one of my hats. What are you doing?
Oh, lice.
I got a pile of-
Lights are gonna get not my hair.
You're gonna get the coronavirus from
No,
my
his hair's
hat.
too nice. I'm gonna mess my hair. It's okay.
COVID-19. That's what they're calling it officially.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the COVID-19.
COVID?
Okay, so This story comes out of, I want to say 2012. It could have been the end of 2013 or the beginning of 2012-ish, somewhere in that ballpark of 2012, okay? My dates are always just rough because, you know, it's the past.
Life.
I don't, life. I don't write these things down. I just remember them from my memory.
It wasn't like 2003 or 4?
Well, oh, I'm sorry. It was 17 years ago.
Yeah, so it's more like...
So it was 2002.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You're keeping me honest.
Yeah.
It was 16 because it was 17 years ago. And today's 2020. So it was 2003?
2004, I think.
2003.
It was in 2004?
It was 2003.
Sure.
Because it was, 1 year after. Because
What year was she born?
3.
So 2004.
No, because she was a baby.
She was born in 2003, at the end of 2003.
So it was 2004. So you're right. All right, glad we got that figured out. Giggity. All right. It would have been
statistical fact.
Actually,
it is 2020, and I did not expect to live this long. So,
yeah. So it would, and it would have been probably like February or March. Mm-hmm. Yep, it would have been like February, March of 2004. I'm really glad that I got you here. So
Working it out.
yeah, it was like February or March of 2004. And I was in the very first house I personally had ever bought. I was with my wife. We had our firstborn daughter, and she was young. She's probably 3 or 4 months, so it was in springtime. And she was a bit colicky. If you don't know what colicky means, basically they are very cryy. You know, they cry a lot.
It's a nice word for cryy.
Yeah, they cry a lot, very cryy, you know, very whiny, I
Won't
guess.
shut up.
Yeah, very, very cryy. And so, you know, screaming and crying, and just for the first few months, it was just a lot. And we didn't get a whole lot of sleep those first few months. And I was working a lot those first few months, and I was really trying to do my very best being a good father and husband. And so I was really trying to help my wife. And there was times when I tried to like step in and help her out because she was, you know, tired and exhausted.
Sorry.
Ball and Thug says, you SureShot seem colicky.
I guess I didn't realize how much I cried during this live stream.
I know, right? But anyways.
Oh, just earlier when oh, gotcha.
Yeah, colicky. But so anyway, I'm painting the picture, and long story short, this picture is that I was exhausted. I was mentally kind of tired. This was my first-born child. You know, I was just really just exhausted. And,
just about had enough.
And I had basically had enough. And now, so let me paint another picture. We're going to take a step back. Let's paint another picture. Behind this house, there was a house behind us that had a really high fence. There was kind of some unsavory folk that lived there. They had a really high garage shed-like thing in the back. They all drove motorcycles. They kind of looked like they were in a motorcycle gang, maybe, if you will, because they wore like the leather jackets with like, I don't know, Hell's Angels and things like that written on them, patches and what have you. And they all looked a bit like, they all look like you, Jacob, but meaner.
Less colicky.
Yeah, less colicky. And
they cried just a little less.
They actually, a couple of them actually had weapons mounted on their motorcycles. They had cameras mounted in their backyard. They even had some Constantine wire like mounted on top of the fencing.
Really, and so the whole place just said go away.
Well, yeah, the whole place just basically said go away. And so when we were living there, it was like, it wasn't exactly the best neighborhood, but it was like the first house that we could afford. It was like, okay, whatever. And my wife, you know, right off the get-go, she said like, hey, it's our neighbor, so like, let's just play nice. And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever, I'll play nice. And I didn't really interact with them at all. But I always played nice, and they were always really quiet. As far as like during the day, like they didn't ever talk to us, we didn't talk to them. And then at night they were kind of loud and obnoxious, but I just ignored them. They'd come in with their motorcycles, you know, you know, Harleys, real loud, and they'd come in at like, you know, midnight, 2, 3, 4, really loud.
Harleys don't just idle in anywhere. It's like, oh, but slow down
they're
somewhere.
super loud. And so they'd come in, and he'd have parties, and it was loud, and it was just, anyway, it was what it was. And most of the time I just, you know, ignored it and just went back to bed or whatever. So whatever, not the end of the world. But
yeah,
As you know.
This is my neighbor, right? So, and he had lots of big groups of these individuals, and so I'm being kind of judgmental, right? I mean, I'm kind of like, I'm already saying these guys look like they're in the Hells Angels. They look unsavory. Their house looks unsavory. It kind of looks like they're drug dealers. I don't know, whatever. I'm being a bit judgmental, so
Can't judge a book by its
I
cover.
probably shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but that kind of doesn't make sense because that's kind of the whole point of putting a cover on a book is to judge the book. But anyway,
Wah, wah.
wah, wah, wah. So
Stereotypes are there for a reason.
that's my backyard neighbor, and this is now my situation. I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I've got this newborn, and I'm at a mental place in my life where, like, I guess I'm okay with someone shooting me, basically, because I'm just like, I'm over it, you know. They're like outside having a party, it's like 2 a.m, they're being super loud, I'm like in my underwear trying to sleep, and I'm like done, I'm just over it, and so like, I'm done. And I get up and I hear my wife as I'm like storming through the house, and she's like, don't do it. Don't do it. You
Put
know,
some pants
she
on.
didn't call me Warrior, of course. She didn't call me Warrior because that wasn't the thing. She was like Will because that's my name. But she's like, don't do it, Will. But I'm like, you know, stomping through the house. But so I like go outside and I like walk out into the middle of my backyard, and I'm standing there 2 a.m,
Sort of buck name.
basically naked because I'm just in my underwear, and I'm like, I just start yelling at the guys like, you gotta calm, you know, and I'm using some unsavory words. You guys gotta calm the heck down. You know, you gotta be quiet. Like, I've got, you know, wife and children in the house trying to sleep and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, you guys gotta whatever. And immediately, like, all these guys turn around and look at me, and they immediately come over to the fence line, and they're kind of yelling back. And then the owner comes over to the fence and like shoos his people away. Like, no, 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 no.
Just,
He's like, go back into the garage, and he stands there and he goes, hey, come over here. And I'm like, all right. And I walk over and I'm like lecturing him, like, you know what, this is bullcrap. I mean, it's like 2 a.m. I mean, this is stupid. Like, I don't know, and your people, they're trying to start fights, whatever, dude. And I'm like, you ever have a problem with me? I don't do this stuff to you. And he's like, dude, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. We take my apology. I'm sorry. We're gonna calm down. I got it. You know, these people, don't mind them. You know, they're just, you know, friends visiting. I'm sorry. Like, this is my house. You know me. Like, I've been here. We've been neighbors for a long time. He's like, you've always been cool with me. Just, you know, I'm sorry. Well, I'll keep it down. You just, you know, head back inside. We'll be quieter. Yeah, I take my apology and all this. And he just totally owns it, and, you know, tells me, you know, apologizes to me to my face. And I'm like in my underwear, standing there face to
I will
face.
take that in my underwear.
And I'm just like lecturing this guy in my backyard. And I turn around, I'm like, all right, well, whatever, just be quiet. And I guess at this point, like I said, I was at that point where I guess I was really okay if he was a drug dealer and he was going to shoot me in the face, because at that point in my life, I was just ready to be either...
You're okay with getting curb
I was
stomped.
either ready for them to either be quiet or kill me, because at this point, I wasn't going back inside without them being quiet. That's where I was at emotionally in my life. And so I turned around and I went back inside, and they were quiet the rest of the night. And, you know, so I was like, okay. Yeah, so I went inside and they were quiet the rest of the night. And my wife's like, I can't believe you did that. You know, you were very, you know, you shouldn't have confronted them. This is something you shouldn't have done. And she's right. I probably shouldn't have done that. That was probably...
Hey, when you're at the end of your rope, you're at the end of
You're
your rope.
at the end of your rope. You're at the
wanted.
end of your rope. But, you know, this was a situation where it was one of those things. And there's always a purpose to these stories, right? Mm-hmm. Well, now fast forward a couple of days later, flipping through the Daily Sentinel, one of my friends sees the front page, and they're like, oh my goodness. And I get a call.
Dude.
And at the same time that he's looking at this front page, I see the backyard of my neighbors, and there's a bunch of cops back there raiding the place, and there's just cops everywhere, and people are getting arrested left and right. And he's like, hey, look at the front page of the Daily Sentinel. That's the local paper to my
Our little community.
to our little community where we live. And I was like, what? And so I didn't have a paper. So anyway, I went and got one, and I flip open the newspaper and I look. I went and got one, and I look, and lo and behold, multi-state meth bust. 48 people or something like that. 48 people arrested. The ringleader of this multi-state drug bust is my neighbor.
Nice guy.
The entire front page of the Daily Sentinel is all of their faces
Have you
And
seen this man?
everybody's been arrested, and multiple people were arrested, and some of them were like wanted on like murder charges. Some of them had like multiple felony gun charges, multiple drug charges for all of them. In fact, one of my ex-friends was on the front page, an individual whom I have other stories about, someone who I did not like anymore, but was on the front page, and it was just all these individuals, and everyone pretty much from that party, if like a week or whatever ago, was on the front page of that Daily Sentinel, and these are all like literally like known Hell's Angels and drug runners, and it's a multi-state meth ring goes down, and here I am a week prior,
Telling them to
2
turn them down.
2 in the morning in my underwear, screaming and yelling at them to just be quiet and shut the heck up and all of that, screaming and yelling at them, and then a week later I find out that they get like busted, this multi-state drug ring and stuff like that, and here I am just arrogantly screaming at them and stuff. So what's the
Trying to call down the thunder. Whoops.
yeah, what's the moral of this story? Couple of things come to mind. The first is don't cross anyone if they haven't had sleep, because you don't know what they're capable of.
Especially with a newborn. Yeah.
Especially with a newborn, you don't know, right? Because you just have no idea. You just have no idea what people are going through, and how what they're like willing to lose at their times. Two, the other side of that coin is you never know who you're talking to. Mm-hmm. You should probably approach every situation with caution, because you never know quite who you're talking to. You could be literally talking to a multi-state gang leader, and it might be something that you might want to come from a point of humility, so you don't get shot in the face, because just because you're tired and you have a kid that's crying might not be a good reason to get shot in the face. Just saying. So there's a lot of things to learn from here, but obviously, coming from a point of humility, coming from a point of you don't know who you're talking to, but also on the converse side of that, a father or a mother that haven't had a lot of sleep, they ain't got much to lose when they're tired, man. Like,
especially if you know the circumstance and situation, give them a little bit of wiggle room.
I mean, it's crazy what mentally where you kind of go when you've been in that situation, and like you can see someone out in public, and like if you've seen someone who's got a newborn and they've been struggling, or they got twins and they've been struggling, like, man, dispense grace. Like, they need it.
It's entirely possible, even out of all of his bad life choices,
I mean?
that guy might have seen that situation, read it accordingly, and it dispensed grace to you. So, yeah,
It's
oddly
just,
enough.
It's just one of those things where there's always that two sides, and you've got to pay attention to both sides. One, there's people that just, you don't know what their story is, you don't know where they've been, and if they seem uber grumpy, there's probably a reason for that. Just give them some grace. Yeah. Just give them that grace, because they need it. They find out, a little more about them. Give them some grace and let them kind of have some of that peace. And if they're screaming and yelling at you, maybe, just maybe, there's more to that story. Maybe there's something you can do to help them out. Mm-hmm. And on the other side, you should be careful who you're talking to, because you never know. You just never know who you're screaming and yelling at. Mm-hmm. I bet there's a couple of people out there who were screaming and yelling at, Bill Clinton or something like that, and had no idea they were screaming and yelling at Bill Clinton. Yeah. And now they're not here.
Yeah, the next day they were suicided. Yeah.
But anyway, long story short, you should just be careful who you're talking to, and then also when you're talking to people and they seem short, you should always be just dispensing grace, because people need that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's not about their height, really.
But that's crazy. And the other thing I learned is I learned that I have a lot of stories from my past where I lived in like not so savory places. I've lived in some really
It's amazing what you'll pick up in the situation, and later on go,
I've lived in some bad locations.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of stories, another one probably next week, where people are going to go,
huh?
You lived in some bad places.
Hey, my neighborhood got bad as I got older, and there was Yeah.
Oh, that's
When I was
funny.
in
When
college, it
people
was
around
bad.
here talk about the ghetto, I want to look at them kind of and just, I have to hold back laughter. I'm just like, you don't know what the ghetto is.
I mean,
I'm
my
in the
small
ghetto.
town trickle
I'm in
down
the
effect
ghetto.
from Chicago.
I've been in interstate Chicago. I've lived in Rockford,
That's
Illinois.
like a
I've lived in
meme.
Freeport, Illinois. I know what the ghetto
It's a
is.
trickle down effect. All the
Yeah.
people that are not really, doing it well in Chicago go down to Rockford. People that can't do it in Rockford go down to Freeport.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
Fun,
trickle down.
fun little meme if you guys want to do. Go to YouTube and look up I'm in the ghetto, I'm in the ghetto, rat-a-ta-ta, rat-a-ta-ta. It's this cute kid. He's like, I'm in the ghetto, I'm in the ghetto, rat-a-ta-ta, rat-a-ta-ta. Anyway, my one of my daughters is obsessed with that meme. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
So
So
anyway,
you get to enjoy it along with her.
I do.
So are we
We
gonna
walk
go-
around the house doing that.
Are we gonna go inside the green door and find this?
Yeah, we're
alternate
gonna go
dimension?
inside this green door and we're gonna go
Yeah.
enjoy the black hole.
We're going to
that
go
is
ask for Ryan
behind
Seacrest
here.
when.
It's got $1 million behind that door.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, 5 million.
Oh, whatever.
5 million behind that door. But no, the 5 million is out here. There's nothing behind this black
Oh.
door. It's just but a black hole.
Texas
yes.
Sorry, said that.
ArtisianK, thanks for coming on board.
Hey.
SureShot, thanks for coming on board.
Glad to be
Everybody
here.
out there that's playing, you guys that are playing games and Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, you guys
Yes.
can keep your gaming on. But as always, we will be here. I appreciate everyone coming and enjoying the live stream. We will be back again. Warrior out.